all just settle in because this is gonna take a while. If we could just take our expectations and just kind of lower them down. My name's Matt Sanders, aka Colonel Sanders. I mentioned that just so I can reference him later in that story about Audra. So I've known Jack. Our dads literally went to high school, so I really haven't had a choice to be this guy's friend. No, really, we've known each other since we were running around in diapers, and you know, my hope is that in 56 years we get a chance to run around in diapers again. You know, growing up, you know, we grew up in different school districts, so we had to spend spring breaks, Christmas breaks, summer trips, and I always remember those trips going about the same every time. They always started out with a lot of excitement, a lot of high fives, and ended with me daydreaming about what it would be like to smother Jack with a pillow. And no, but despite our differences, we stayed close friends, and he's been a brother to me now for the majority of 24 years. And after we graduated high school, we decided to go down to a little school in BFE, Arkansas, Southern Arkansas University. Mule Riders. And you know, if we couldn't take a week-long trip together, imagine the first semester in the prison cells at Green Hall. And you know, growing up, we always had this dream of graduating together. So when we went down to SAU, you know, we were pretty excited we were going to get to graduate. Anyone who knows Jack knows that dream was kind of cut short when he was diagnosed with cancer our sophomore year. He had to sit out 11 months for chemo and radiation, and you know, I don't think he'd argue that it was probably the most trying year of his life. But the way I was thinking when I was writing the speech is, it was definitely, I think, a blessing in disguise, because for two reasons. Before the diagnosis, people that knew Jack know he was a bit high-strung. And he had what some people would like to call anger management problems. He had a fuse that was sometimes non-existent. Father like son. Exactly. And you know, going through that 11 months of chemo and radiation and everything you went through, it gave him a great deal of humility, and it showed him what was important in life. Getting angry so much was just not worth it. And you know, growing up, I always wondered where that anger come from, and then I watched the Lions game with his dad. Hopefully, no throw punches will be given out tonight. The second reason I look at that year of cancer as a blessing in disguise is because it gave him an extra year at SAU, which I know at first Jack looked at as a pretty terrible thing, but I think it gave him a year to get to know a young lady named Audra Delaney. And the reason I think that's so special is because Jack was scheduled to graduate in 2008, and Audra and Jack didn't start dating until May of 2009. So without that extra year at SAU, I don't know if we'd be standing here today. I remember when Jack first started talking to Audra, and I remember all the conversations we'd have on phones, and eventually they centered around Audra. And I gotta admit, as a man, you know, all those feelings, you know, we're men, we need to do things. We like to talk about women. We like to shiver the door open. We like to go on riverboat gambling trips. We make our own beef jerky, it's what we do. We don't talk about feelings. And then I really got to know Audra. And I think the first time we got to hang out was on a trip to Cedar Point, one of mine and Jack's favorite places in the world. And it didn't take me long to realize why he wouldn't shut up about it. She's the type of girl that you hang out with her for an hour and you start reevaluating yourself. Like, I gotta stop swearing so much. I should get involved in charity work. She's so nice. And, she really is a rare combination, I think, of she's gorgeous, and yet she's probably the nicest, kindest person I've ever met in my life. Yeah. And,
Double A.
If I had to describe the ideal for my best friend, it would be Audra. And I wanted to wrap this up with some great advice, but single, I can't keep going. What kind of credibility do I have? I actually went to one of my heroes in life, my grandpa, who he was lucky enough to spend 59 years with the love of his life and probably the sweetest woman I've ever known. And it wasn't surprising that his answer to a successful marriage was short and sweet, but he said, "Me and your grandma never fought. We loved and respected each other every day for 59 years. Love will always make a successful marriage." And I think the simplicity of the answer gets overlooked too often today. And so that's my advice, Jack. Focus on that love, because it's not always going to be easy. When she wants to watch Twilight and stuff, you got to focus on that love. When you're sitting in the living room waiting for 45 minutes for her to finish getting ready, you got to focus on that love. When she jams those icicles that women like to call feet into your bare skin when you're laying in bed, you got to focus on that love. And I think most of all, most important, you got to focus on that love, because you know that she's never going to lose that sight, that love she has for you. And I guess my toast is, life, they say life is not about the number of breaths you take, it's about the moments that take your breath away. Here's to a lot of breathless years for Jack and Audra.